Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to check fresh release from ICM. It's kit which is molded in 1/35 scale as it's written here, and it copies American Civil War Confederate Infantry. So you can see there are 4 figures in this kit and they're molded in popular scale, so they might be handy for unusual diorama scene, because I would say this setting is not that often met in plastic. So here we have quite interesting release, which should be already available because we have here a commercial sample, and it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this box. So first of all, box size is typical for this manufacturer. Here you can see comparison with my hand. We have quite nice box art, it's almost a painting. And next here we have some information about the parts, and surprisingly there are 121 parts. I'm not sure if this is a mistake or maybe it is a real number, but it will be used for assembly of 4 figures. And here we have address of the manufacturer and also address of Czech distributor Modelimex, and it works internationally, so if you would like to order it, you can order it from them. Here we have, let's say, profiles for these 4 guys. As you can see, they're printed in color, and just like any recent release from ICM, as you can see, it is sealed with this clear sticky tape. So I'm going to use sharp knife in order to cut it through, and we'll check everything closer. And of course, if you have something already to say, feel free to write in the comment section below. I'm more than happy to answer and talk with you, so just write what do you think about such topic for plastic kit in 1/35 scale. Okay, so box design, as I said, is typical, or maybe packaging design is typical for ICM, and as you can see, it's really difficult to remove. It's a quite flexible top cover, which is color printed, and then we have sturdy white cardboard box, which actually protects everything what is hidden inside. So let's open it. And here is what we have inside. So as you can see, several plastic sprues, and then we have assembly manual on the bottom, but we will check it a bit later. First of all, I would like to start with plastic parts, obviously, and then we will continue with assembly manual and other things if there are any. So just give me a second, let's open it. Okay, so I guess this 121 part number wasn't mistake, because as you can see there are several plastic sprues, and I would suggest we start with figures and then gradually we will move on to various accessories. So here you can see first gray plastic sprue. I will zoom in a bit, and as you remember, we have 4 figures in 1/35 scale, and I would say that overall design is pretty much typical for this scale from ICM. Now we can zoom in even more and check each section of this sprue. So here we have first figure. As you can see, these are separate legs, separate hands and head, which is molded without head, so you can assemble everything separately. Of course, you will have to pay attention for all joints between, for example, torso and legs, in order to achieve the smooth connection between these parts, which will look natural, obviously. Next, we continue with second figurine. As you can see, all figures are pre-molded, I would say, or pre-shaped, so you won't be able to change much, and there are no alternative poses as far as you can see. But molding quality seems to be fine. For example, here we can see hand molded together with saber, and that's really cool. And it is molded only on 2 attachment points, so I would rather use plastic soil in order to carefully separate it. And here we have final 4th figurine. Again, the same design, it's in standing position. And as for accessories, we will check it on this second sprue, which is also supplied here. As you remember, it was supplied in a double set, so we have 2 of them. Here is the first one. Let's zoom out a bit. So here is the first one, and here is the second one. They're absolutely identical, so you get absolutely the same set of parts. And that's really cool, because obviously you want to use all of these parts in your project. It would be strange if you use all this stuff for 4 figures, and it means that it might be handy for your future projects, no matter which, let's say, figures you use with them, as long as it is in the same setting. So we are going to check only this one, because as I said, they carry the same set of parts, so there is no need to check the same one by one. And as you can see here, we have various rifles, also some minor equipment which can be placed on the soldiers. And frankly speaking, it is quite impressive that we get that many various types of rifles. I guess they will be really handy in order to get a different appearance for figures. So that's a variable part in our build. And here you can play with your choice because you're not limited to something in particular. And I think at least this is really good, because otherwise it would be just a boring prefixed figure set which you can't change much. And next we have assembly manual, so it is typical for ICM. If we zoom out, you can see what we have here. Let me close camera a bit. So that's a color printed brochure. We have parts map on the first page. And by the way, even though we have numbers here, we have them also on the spruce, so no worries, they're present on the frame, so it will be easy to find necessary parts. Next, we also have this paints chart, so it is given in Revel and Tamiya paint numbers, but I think it's not difficult to convert into the necessary shade which you prefer in your builds. And what next? We have safety advices, we have also address of the manufacturer, and if we flip it over, here we have assembly manual and painting guide combined together, so basically we get 2 in 1, let's say. They are printed in color, but as you can see they show figure only from one side, so you have to work on the rear with your fantasy, and here you have to work on the front obviously, but I think that's not a difficult task to do and you'll be able to solve it. And overall, as far as you can see, so that's a guy with saber in hand and also with pistol. I guess here we can play with choice of rifles here as well. Maybe with some external equipment as well, because it will be placed as a separate part. So maybe you will be able to omit some of them. Maybe you'll be able to use more than what is specified here. Now, I would recommend to use some references for this, because obviously the kit painting guide is not enough in order to replicate something even more sophisticated. So pay attention to this, because with such generous choice of various equipment, it will be a really decent idea to play with various, let's say, configurations of these figures. And once again, I remind you that we have 4 of them, so really decent kit. And ICM decided to release it as a series, so we will get also the opposing side in a separate release. We will check it a bit later. As for this kit, it should be already available. You can get it in any good model shop, for example in Modelimex. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion about this kit. Write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!